All right, Alex. So today we're going to review some videos, and then I'm going to discuss with you some strategies that will help you take notes effectively so that when it comes time to retrieve that information, you'll be able to have resources to help you instead of having to always go back to the videos. So we want to take time to make sure we can see what important pieces of information to pull out of the video. So let's have a quick discussion first before we press play. Can you tell me firstly, what are some important things looking at this page that you would take notes on?
First of all, what we're studying.
What we're studying, so go ahead and write that down. Alright, and so just a quick reminder, we don't want to write down every single thing we hear in a video or every single thing we see, but it's important that you begin to be able to identify important features so that you don't end up writing an entire page of notes all the time on one video. This information will help you be able to take notes across the curriculum, like in any class you're going to be taking, whether it's English or science or math. You need to know how to pull out important pieces of information so that, again, you can have them for reference. And so you don't end up with piles and piles of paper. So, the first thing you wrote down was the title. You also want to pay attention to see if you see any bolded words on the video. Do you see anything like that on that page at this time?
Right here it says interior angles.
You want to write down all of your important terms. So bolded words usually indicate a terminology is being used. So write that down. And the next thing you want to do after you write down a new piece of terminology is to read the definition of it in your head and then see if you can put that definition in your own words.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and take a few seconds to do that.
There's like a definition.
Ah, I see. Oh, this is, you get to click on that, right? It'll go to the next video. Let's try it.
I'm gonna click down here and it'll take you to the next video.
Gotcha.
Next assignment.
You navigate this even better than I do. Look at you. Okay, so another important thing when you're taking notes is to notice figures. Do you see how these angles are, drawn out for you?
Yes.
The other, if this were a graph or any other piece of information, bar graph, pie chart, any numerical values that maybe you can look at and be able to remember what it was about, that's another thing that would be useful for you to replicate or just draw another picture of it on your piece of paper so that instead of having to write down all the words, you can create sort of a memory device for yourself, which is also known as a mnemonic device. So you can look at that picture and say, hey, I remember what that represented. That reminds me of when ... You know what I mean?
Yes.
By the way, the ... is like an
Whatever else.
ellipsis.
Yeah.
What are some other things that you can think of that are important to look at when taking notes?
Key terms.
Key terms, that's like we mentioned, that was the definitions. What else? You mentioned bolded words. Are there any other kinds of words that you would look at that we take notes on?
Italicized words.
Italicized words. Good, good, good. So if you're ever, looking at articles or things like that, those italicized words can be titles of books. They can be stressors that are important that the author wants you to remember. Like if I said, really? That would be italicized. How about page numbers?
Yes.
Why are page numbers important?
So that if we ever have to go and look back on something, we know what page it is on.
Exactly. So so you don't have to write down again all of these miles and miles long worth of notes. You can put yourself a reference so that you can look back at it later. And so between the bolded words, the terminology, italicized words, page numbers, you should be able to generate a pretty good reference base for you to go back and use on any assignment. You think so?
Yes.
All right.